We're back at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway for the Performance Plus Motor Oil and Virginia Ship Repair Foundation 230 night at the races early September, as we are closing in on our 2025 season finale in a matter of weeks. But we still have a lot of racing to go, Adam. But drivers seem to be counting points a little bit more these days.
Yeah, it's very much getting down to crunch time. Now, we won't crown champions until the beginning of October, but of course, with all the divisions that we have here and the couple of off weekends that we have as well, it's very much crunch time for these divisions. You know, you've got racing tonight, racing next week, and then the next time we're on track is championship night on October the 5th. So it is very much end of the season. It has come up on us in a hurry, and that means very little racing left to go, very few points left on the table. So you got to get while the getting's good. And tonight, for the limited late models, they have 2 chances to do so.
That's right. It'll be race number 11 and 12 here this evening. We qualified for this first 35-lap race. They'll come back out later tonight. How they finish this first race will dictate how they start the second event. NASCAR will advance at a minimum, or will invert, I should say, at a minimum 8 drivers. So if you win this race, you could start as low as 8th, possibly as low as 12th. The NASCAR decides after the first race. And so it'll be interesting to see what that number ends up. Normally it's around 8 drivers that we do invert, but we have inverted 10 and even 12. So we'll see how it all shakes out, meaning race 2, you'll have some faster cars deep in the field. Speaking of faster cars, the driver that's been on a tear here in 2025, it's been car number 9, Aiden Millett. In the first 10 races, he has won half of them, 5 to be exact, including the most recent race 1 week ago. Aiden Millett, keep your eyes on car number 9. He's gunning for a second straight championship. He leads the points by 13 markers over Jacob Derrick, as they now have just 3 races remaining in this season, 2 tonight, and then 1 more coming up on October the 4th. It'll be a flat-out race here. It'll be a 50-lap race on championship night 1 in early October. Now, they do have the Halloween Speed Fest coming up on the 25th of October, or Halloween weekend, but that event will not be a points-paying event. It's all about pride and money. Another driver we're keeping our eyes on in this first of 2 races for the limited late models, it is Sparky West. He qualified extremely well in car number 99. He starts outside of row 1. Well, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Let's go trackside for the command.
Race fans, I'm going to need your help with this one on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, drivers!
And with that, 15 limited late models sponsored by Yesco come to life here on the front stretch. It's just about time to go after it here this evening at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. It's been a lot of fun watching these limited late model drivers all season long. It's coming down to the final 3 races of the year to settle the score and see who gets it done in 2025. Another driver seeking redemption this evening. It's the driver that pilots car number 66. He had a miserable week last Saturday night. He crashed out early in race number 1. The damage was so bad they could not make repairs between the first and second race, meaning he missed the second race altogether. The driver that's right here from Hampton with multiple wins in go-karts, super streets, and grand stocks is ready to go after it tonight. He qualified well. He's technically a rookie in this series, as he's running a full-time schedule here in the limited late models. Car 66, Nick Sample, who's sponsored by Carol and Laura, and Portsmouth Army Navy is ready to go. And Adam, what a week he had, as well as the driver who is starting close to him in the 6th spot, Doug Warren, in car number 45. It was a miserable evening.
Yeah, they made it all of, I think, maybe 2 laps in that race. It was a 70-lap race with twin 35s. They couldn't even start the second race with the damage, and what a turnaround a week makes for these competitors. The 66, as you mentioned, Brian, starting P3, that's Nick Sample, and the 45 of Doug Warren, the veteran in the Warren family, in the number 45, also starting up front. They are ready to get things turned around and do it in a hurry. And they are looking pretty fast tonight as well. That qualifying effort surely proved that. We'll see how they are in race trim, but I imagine they're going to be focused on getting a better run just because of the bad luck they faced 1 week ago.
Another driver we're watching, he rolls off in 4th spot, or outside of row number 2 from Williamsburg, Virginia, that is Hunter Waltrip. Hunter, having his 2nd season in the limited late models, is looking to have a big night tonight. He has failed to finish inside the top 5. He's come close. He's finished 6th back in July. Tonight, he's ready to get that first top 5, and hey, he'd love to sneak in a win. Keep your eyes on car number 17. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, presented by Performance Plus Motor Oil and Virginia Ship Repair Foundation. Row 1, your point standings leader, car 9, Aiden Millette, who took the pole with a time of 17.236 seconds. Outside of row 1 is Sparky West in car number 99 from right here in Hampton. Row 2 is Nick Sample in car number 66 with Hunter Waltrip in car 17 firing off 4th. Row 3, a great qualifying effort for Tucker Jones in the 14J car with Norfolk's Doug Warren firing off in 6th in car 45. Row 4 in the 7th spot is where you'll find the 18 of Kyle Nestor with Jacob Derrick in the 88 entry going off in 8th or outside the 4th row. Row 5 is Brian Runstrom Jr., last year's Bandolero's champion in the 88. He's alongside the 18 DJ Valente, who normally races in the modified series. Row 6 from Gloucester is Kevin Morgan in car 1 with Norfolk's Danny Harrell in car 95. Row 7, the 14 of Zachary Beavers and Virginia Beach, Virginia's Sarah Weitzel in car 21. Riley Rondeau makes up the 8th row on the inside in car 99R. 2 races tonight. The big storyline this evening, manage your tires. This track is like a cheese grater. It will abuse your Hoosier tires. And oh, by the way, to finish first, you must first finish. Get this race in so you can start race 2. The field is forming now in turns 3 and 4. It's Aiden Millette, Sparky West to his right side. The green flag has been displayed. The limited late models presented by Yesco are green. Lap 1 in the books. The top 3 have broken away. There's your leader, Aiden Millette. The battle's on for second spot. Tucker Jones going to work on Nick Sample. Sparky West has fallen to 4th. Now he's fallen to 5th, and he may lose more at him in turns 3 and 4.
Man, there was some big contact in turn 1. Zach Beavers got a whole piece of the back bumper of DJ Valente further back, but all is sorted out in that part of the world. Let's go further up the field now where we see Sparky West, who has lost positions on this initial lap. Here comes Doug Warren to the inside, the 45, looking racy early.
There's your leader, Aiden Millette, as we put 3 laps on the board early on in this event. There's the battle we're watching between the 45. We're talking about Doug Warren versus the 99 of Sparky West. That is for 6th position. The 45 will go by Hunter Waltrip. Also trying to make the pass in car number 17. Remember, Hunter started inside the top 4. He's fallen now outside of the top 6. He's gone back to 7th, and meanwhile, the bleeding continues for Sparky West, just being trapped topside.
And that's exactly what he told us in qualifying, Brian. Mosquito Joe Full qualifying, we talked to Sparky, and he said, I don't want to be on the outside. And I asked, why is that? Well, you're seeing it right there. He got stuck in the high groove and could not get down. He has fallen from 2nd to almost outside the top 10.
Tough break for Sparky West. He'll have to reload as we watch this battle for the runner-up position. This is happening some 1.4 seconds behind race leader Aiden Millette. That's where Nick Sample, he currently has it. And look at the rest of the field fly by here this evening. Aiden Millette in command as he's been most of this season. We've documented just the dominance he has had here in 2025. He would go on to win the championship last year in car number 9, the 2024 champion with 6 victories. But this year, Adam, I mean, he did 6 wins in total last year. Well, 2025, we still have 3 races to go. He's already got 5 checkered flags.
I say with experience comes more better results. You're seeing that with the 9 of Aiden Millette right now, currently looking for that 6th win, Brian. And we talked to him after qualifying, said he was pumped up for tonight. We do want to mention his crew chief and mechanic, Robert Skimmel, not doing well. He's in the hospital, so they're racing with a motivation here tonight for Skimmel of RDS Performance, trying to get a good performance for Robert as he sits in the hospital. We're thinking of him and his family and cheering on this number 9 machine. I'm sure we're watching and just hoping Aiden can pull out the results again, looking for back-to-back titles.
Smithfield, Virginia's Tucker Jones right now being scored in 3rd spot. Tucker started this race back in 5th quickly, shot up to 3rd within the opening lap. That driver continues to perform well. He was the 2018 Rookie of the Year here at Langley Speedway. Took home the 2019 INEX National Touring Championship. So Tucker Jones, a fast race car driver, showing how good he is here. Car 14 riding in third spot. But look who is closed in now in position 4. That's a refined Kyle Nestor, who currently sets fourth in the championship chase. Adam, we talked about how he had a dismal opening to 2025, and it's like a light switch has just been turned on for car 18. The last 3 races, he has a finish of second, third, and third, and even 2 races prior to that, he was inside the top 5 with 2 fourth-place finishes, because before that, his best finish was 6th.
You're talking about former race winner here at Langley in the Limiteds, Kyle Nestor. This number 18 team has definitely flown under the radar, and they have seemed to have found something here in the last couple of weeks. Brian, you mentioned the upward swing, and we're seeing that again tonight. He runs in the 4th spot, trying to chase down his 2 competitors, Nick Sample and Tucker Jones. Those 3 cars are under a blanket right now in turns 1 and 2.
Very close racing here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway as we are working the 14th trip around this racetrack. We are seeing drivers bide their time. They're trying to just log laps, but this second place battle is beginning to heat up. We have been watching Tucker Jones. He has been right there on the back bumper of Nick Sample, but he's been very patient. He may have a car that's a little bit faster, but Nick Sample, he may be a rookie in the limited late models, but he's a veteran competitor. Raced here for many, many years in other series, including the Super Streets. He's raced the Grand Stocks with victories. But he knows, hey, it's one thing to catch somebody, it's another to pass. That's that famous line we've heard over the years in racing, like in the movies Days of Thunder and more. But nevertheless, he is putting that on full display, Nick Sample that is, in that red, white, and blue 66 car here at lap 16. Left side of your frame, that's the battle for second. It's continuing to take shape. Right side, there is the race leader, Aiden Millett, car number 9. He has been on a tear, the fastest car on the racetrack, and he just continues to prove that lap after lap. Now, talking about tire management and potential tire fall off, his best time being Aiden Millett, he clocked in at 17.5 seconds. Well, right now, he's turning multiple tenths of a second slower. The last trip around, he was at an 18.2 second lap, as we are now halfway home. 18 of the 35 laps in the books. Adam, it continues to be Aiden Millett showing the way.
That's a good 2 seconds back to the battle for a second. There's a little bit of a battle further back. We're watching the number 45 with Doug here off the Jacob Derrick machine. Jacob won last week here in one of the twin 35s. It has not been a good qualifying effort and race so far for Jacob. He's behind the tire tracks of the number 45 arrow, trying to make.
That is a good point, Adam. We've not seen a lot out of Jacob Derrick tonight. He had troubles in qualifying, trying to get that car closer to the front, but he's not had the aid of a caution. So he is mired right now in position number 7 as he flashes by the start-finish line. He's going to work on the 45 of Doug Warren. Jacob Derrick started in 8th, so he's only picked up 1 spot in these opening 20 laps, and we've got 15 more remaining here this evening, so it's going by in a hurry. He may put the bumper on the 45 car working through turns 3 and 4. That is a textbook move on a Saturday night short track like here at Langley Speedway. Adam, just give him a little bump. You don't dump him, you just move him up the track so you can make the pass.
That's the old short track Morse code. 1 bump, just letting you know I'm here. 2 bumps, all right, you're in my way. Well, 3 bumps, I got to send you out of my way at that point. This battle's been going on for almost 10 laps. Jacob has been very patient with the number 45 machine, so maybe is going to use that bumper here in a matter of moments. We're not quite sure, but either way, definitely not the result we're used to seeing from Jacob running in the back half of the top 10, just trying to fight his way forward, and maybe, just maybe, setting up for the invert. Brian, you talked about it. That could set up a terrific race number 2. Maybe just something they're keeping in mind.
That may be what he's thinking about, because right now, if we do get an inversion of 8, he would start in the 2nd spot. Jacob Derrick, of course, 1 week ago, a winner. We had 2 races like we're going to have tonight. He won the first event, finished 2nd in the 2nd event. Now, his worst finish this year is a 7th, and that's where he's running here at the moment. So Jacob Derrick, who currently sets P2 in the championship chase, entered this race 13 points behind Aiden Millett. He's trying to hold on to that 2nd spot. There's your leader across the line. 10 more to go, 25 down for car 9, Aiden Millett, who shows the way this evening. He's from Yorktown, sponsored by Tent World and the Vanguard 64 Roofing, helping support the driver. That also is sponsored by A. Hampton Roads Plumbing. The young man doing great things here in 2025, has a bright future ahead of him as he continues to have just a tremendous season. Well, we finally did make the pass, Adam. Car 88, Jacob Derrick got by Doug Warren. He's up to 6th. Now he has his eyes set on another car 88. This is Brian Rundstrom Jr.
I was just noticing that while Doug and Jacob were going at it, they were closing in on Rundstrom for P5. They have very much caught the bright yellow number 88 machine, the two-time winner this season. And Jacob may be having enough time to go out and wait and see. Either way, definitely two very fast cars, multiple-time winners this season. Both not quite having the night they would like to have. But, of course, there's still time for race number 2. Or, again, Jacob could just be riding right now for that second race. He would line up now inside of row 2 in third.
Sparky West trying to reload. He's up to 8. Now the battle's on inside the top 4. The 14. Tucker Jones just got by Nick Sample. Move him up to second. Sample will lose third now to Kyle Nestor. The Sample car sideways coming off of turn number 4. The handling likely going away on car 66 Sample, but nevertheless he's still inside the top 5. Here comes the 18 of Kyle Nestor. He got third. Now he won second in turns 3 and 4.
What was that you were saying, Brian, about 2 consecutive run-up finishes for that 18 machine? Well, how about a third in a row? That's what Kyle Nestor is thinking. He's going to try to take the fight to the rookie Tucker Jones out of Markworks Racing. Nestor all over the back bumper, gets a little out of shape there off turn number 2. That's Sarah Weitzel, the lap car in front of them. They're going to have to navigate her and also try to battle for position. Good stuff here inside the top 3.
4 laps remain. This one's gone by in a hurry as we do watch the 14 of Tucker Jones. He has gone to second. Kyle Nestor has lost a little bit of ground, about 2 car lengths or so is where he's fallen back to third. But and then falling into 4th position again is a 66 of Nick Sample, who started the year fantastic. Sample opened up the season with a 3rd place finish for the season opener, came home 4th in the second race, but since then it's not been the year Nick Sample's wanted. So he has reloaded. He's back inside the top 5 in 4th position. But what about Tucker Jones, the 14J car? Just his 3rd start here in 2025. He has not finished inside the top 5 in those opening 2 races. As a matter of fact, his best finish was a 9th. But right now he is running in the runner-up position. Meanwhile, a little bit further back, Adam, Jacob Derrick is right there behind Brian Rundstrom Jr.
2 pair of 88 machines battling for this 5th position. Both drivers trying to salvage as many points as they can because they're the 2 closest in the standings to Aiden Millett, who's out front. They know the precious points are still on the table. They're trying to get all they can here. The white flag is out. They're running out of time.
Here comes car number 9 through turns 3 and 4. And for the 6th time in 2025, your points leader, Aiden Millett, will win the limited late models at Langley Speedway. Car 9 is getting it done again tonight from the pole position, leading flag to flag to get it done here in a caution-free 35-lap contest. Aiden Millett from Yorktown is once more a victor here this evening. What a race for Aiden Millett. The win tonight, more than 3 seconds over second place Tucker Jones, who gets a best finish of his season in the runner-up spot. But the driver that's going to celebrate the loudest and the proudest here this evening, it'll be car 9, Aiden Millett, who gets it done in the full throttle lawn care coastal flooring race car. He's going to turn that car around, do the Polish victory lap that Alan Kulwicki, your 1992 NASCAR Cup Series champion, made famous. Aiden Millett faces the fans. The celebrations will get started here in a matter of moments in Victory Lane, but he's celebrating right now inside that race car. The pressure's off, at least for right now. He'll have just a little bit of time before they get set for race number 2 coming up later this evening. So Aiden Millett now rolling around the speedway backwards here on his victory lap. He's your winner tonight. Finishing up in second, a best finish for Tucker Jones. Third tonight was Kyle Nestor. That'll give him now 4 podium finishes in a row. Fourth tonight was Nick Sample. He's getting back inside the top 5. And Brian Rundstrom Jr. comes home 5th as your second top rookie here tonight. Jacob Derrick was 6th this evening. Doug Warren came home 7th. 8th was Sparky West. 9th went to Hunter Waltrip. And Danny Harrell rounds out the top 10. DJ Valente finished 11th. Kevin Morgan was 12th. Sarah Weitzel finished 13th, with Zachary Beavers and Raleigh Rondeau rounding out the field. Well, let's go trackside to Adam Wilbrock.
Aiden Millett Racing ready to celebrate another win on the season. Mentioned they're racing with a little bit extra motivation tonight. Their crew chief and main mechanic, Robert Skimmel, going through some medical issues and is not able to be here tonight, so they're definitely thinking of him and winning this one in his honor for sure, because they want to do him proud. And of course, Skimmel sets up this car every single week, and it is lights out fast. We've seen that all season long, saw it all of 2024 as they go and try to chase down a second track championship. The Vanguard Asset Auto Recovery Toyota sits here in Dale Emmons Victory Lane ready to add a new sticker to the winner's collection. He's going to have a chance to get win number 7 here in a little while. See if he can do it from the invert. We'll have to keep an eye on him for sure. He was able to do it last week. I'd imagine he's feeling pretty good about his chances this week as well. Didn't take him long at all to get to the lead. In fact, maybe just 3 or 4 laps. A couple of drivers here to celebrate with him. Zach Beavers, Sarah Weitzel, among others, to give a fist bump to driver 9. Teammates on the RDS performance side, those are other cars that Skimmel helps set up, and they definitely know what Aiden's going to be feeling here in just a matter of moments as he takes a minute to just collect his thoughts. He's going to climb out for the 6th time this season in limited late models. Aiden Millette wins it. Gets a hug from Dad, Brian, and going to take a second to just enjoy the moment with the race team as they celebrate for, again, the 6th time on the season. Hanging out with Mr. Billy Hobbs down here on a gorgeous night in Hampton. You can see the emotion on driver 9. Aiden racing with a little extra motivation there, buddy. You sure look like it. That car was bad fast. Old Skimmel had it hooked up tonight, buddy.
Yeah, man, it sucks he's not here. I'm just praying that he's doing good. I know he'd be proud and he had this thing on rails, even though he's not here. Exactly how he had it last, and he always has this thing right, so I just can't thank him enough. This one's for him, and I'm praying for him. I just can't thank everyone else me enough, and everyone who gets me out here. My dad, my mom, my Mimi and Papa, Kaylee, JJ, and Jess, the Skinnels, even though they're not here tonight, I know they're watching. Cody for always bringing people out, Kevin, Gabe, I'm sure I'm forgetting people, all my sponsors, the Vanguard, Guardian Towing, Frontline Performance, Aham Rose Plumbing, Cochran Captures, G Nichols, RDS Performance, 64 Roofing, Space Makers, Coastal Flooring, Asset All Recovery, Tent World. I'm sure I'm missing someone, but I just can't think of Thomas Auto Spa. I just can't think of anyone else me here every week enough.
That's driver 9, winner for the 6th time this season, Brian. They were the winners in race 2 1 week ago. Keep an eye on the number 9 Toyota.
Aiden Millette, just 16 years of age, trying to get it done here in 2025 for the 2nd year. He's been on rails. He continues that here this evening. C.E. Thurston & Sons, founded in 1919, is one of Virginia's premier providers of contracting services and product distribution. Servicing a variety of industrial and marine customers, C.E. Thurston & Sons are proud members of the Virginia Ship Repair Association and one of tonight's trophy sponsors. Presenting this trophy is Michael McCracken, Hampton sales manager, and his team at C.E. Thurston & Sons Incorporated. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot of racing left to go after these short messages.
I'm First Sergeant Peter Lazier, coordinator of the Virginia State Police Help Eliminate Auto Theft program. Is auto theft still a problem in Virginia? Well, last year more than 11,000 vehicles were stolen, but you can take steps to prevent auto theft. Always lock your car doors, take your keys with you, and hide your valuables when you park. You can also earn a reward up to $25,000 for providing auto theft tips that lead to an arrest. Go to heathreward.com to learn more. That's heathreward.com.
There are 13 folds that bring the American flag to the iconic shape of freedom. This summer, Folds of Honor and Budweiser celebrate 13 years of changing military and first responder lives together. Service never stops, and neither will we. So join me in raising a Budweiser to raise funds for Folds of Honor.
Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
We're back at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Hey, we've got a gold Honda CRV, license plate TBN-8919. Your lights are on. You may want to go turn those off. All right, just about time for our third race of the evening. We'll now transition from limited late models to the Portsmouth Army Navy Enduros. And Adam, unlike any other series that will compete tonight, this one's vastly different because once we take the green flag, the yellow flag will not come back out of Shane Snyder's flag stand.
I always say this is Randy Nestor's favorite division. Randy Nestor is our pace truck driver. He gets to lead the field to the green, then put his feet up and enjoy this race. No caution flags in this division, the Enduro class, as we call it, the party division. Normally they close out the night, but tonight we're going to treat the race fans to a little something special. They are race number 3. If a caution comes out, we will freeze the field with the red flag, give him the old Ric Flair woo, in honor of our good buddy Buck Roos. Great to have Buck watching at home. We can't wait to have him back at the racetrack, and then we'll line him up single file and do it all over again here for the 30-lap race. The boys and girls have at it division, the Enduro class. Big thank you to our friends at Portsmouth Army Navy.
Hey, Adam, we talked about it earlier, the 10th place finisher. That was Danny Harrell. If we can find him somewhere, he just won 2 Hoosier tires from our great friends at Yesco. Terry Harrison team awarding 2 free tires. They had a random draw for position. They drew earlier. They drew the 10th place. The 10th place driver to finish that race, of course, was Danny Harrell. Now, the second set of Hoosier tires they're going to give away a little bit later on tonight. That's going to go to the actual race winner. Well, we were getting ready to go racing, but it may be just a slight delay, Adam, because Mother Nature is, well, let's just say, a little moisture coming down.
Yeah, Mother Nature not cooperating with us here just as of yet. I did happen to find Hot Wheels down here. He's talking it over with Mr. Terry Harris as our Enduros grid up on the racetrack. I'm going to have a quick chat with Hot Wheels, buddy. Going home with a couple tires, not a bad night all around.
Not at all. You know, sometimes the lucky coin falls on you.
That's right, buddy. Well, how are you feeling for race number 2 now? The car was maybe just okay in race 1. How about race number 2?
I got to free it up. I'm a little too tight, and I don't know. I got something going on, and I'm going to keep throwing something at it.
Let's see what happens. Congratulations, Danny. Hot Wheels, Mr. Day of Destruction, getting 2 free tires courtesy of our friends at Yesco, Brian.
That's right, 2 Hoosier tires from Terry Harrison team Yesco as we were getting set to go racing for our third feature, the Portsmouth Army Navy. We've got 8 races tonight, but unfortunately, we're going to have a slight delay. Mother Nature dropping some moisture from the skies. Rain is coming down on the speedway. We never want to use that word at a racetrack, and unfortunately we're having to as of right now, but hopefully this is going to be a quick passing shower and we will be able to go back racing here in a matter of moments. It looks like the cars are on the track, but they will come back down pit road. We will have a little momentary pause here in the action as we will wait for the skies to stop letting moisture come down so we can go back racing. I guess, Adam, the problem is these tires are slicks. Then the racetrack gets slippery. We have no traction. It's basically like competing on an ice skating rink.
Yeah, these tires are not like the street car tires that you have on your road car. And so when you go out here and you drive on a wet racetrack, well, the tire is not going to grip the racetrack because of all the moisture. So can't race under that conditions. And of course, we want to make safety our #1 priority here at Langley as always. So good for the racetrack to be better safe than sorry. We'll take a quick pause for the cause and then come back with Enduro action here momentarily.
So the Enduro race presented by our friends at Portsmouth Army Navy. Big shout out to Portsmouth Army Navy. They've been a great partner of ours for many years. Portsmouth Army Navy. That, of course, is a great organization that you want to go down and check out at some point. Portsmouth Army Navy is, of course, the brand you love at the prices you can afford. They've been celebrating more than 75 years in business. They are known as the coverall king of Hampton Roads, carrying top brands like Carhartt, Timberland Pro, and Extra Tough. The Army Navy store has the best gear for anyone working the waterfront. They even stock big and tall sizes up to 6X. For great work clothes at great prices, visit Portsmouth Army Navy or online at armynavy.com. A big thanks to Mark Frank and the entire team at Portsmouth Army Navy. Well, we did have a random draw to determine the starting lineup for that feature. It was Zach Hardline and Jennifer Crabtree They drew row 1. Zach Hardline with the pole position. Now, of course, Zach Hardline, Adam, like he's done almost all season long, he has had pretty good draws. He's your point standings leader, and he drew the pole spot.
Hey, not a bad night for Zach Hardline when you're the points driver on the season. It's not a bad gig when you can draw a P1. That makes your life a heck of a lot easier come race time because we know how chaotic this division can be. So good news for the 32. They've got nobody in front of them. But the least of their concerns is traffic because they're going to be dealing with all kinds of cars all over the racetrack come race time. So we'll have to wait and see how that happens. But we've got a bunch of fast cars all the way up and down this field. If there's anything vision where anything can happen, it's certainly this one.
Don Dawson in car 3, he drew the 3rd spot. He'll start inside of row 2 with Jared Curson in car 92. That's going to be a relatively new competitor for us. Jared Curson from Gates, North Carolina. He is part of the Stormy Butts Racing and the Carolina Swamp Motorsports Incorporated and Stormy Butts Racing LLC. He'll be starting outside of row 2. Haley Nelson in the 54 drew the 5th spot with Dave Williams in the 51. He'll fire off outside of row 3 in position 6. Alex Floroff in the 17 will start 7th with Chris Myers in the 24 rolling off in 8th. Joe Gray and Daniel Baudoff make up row 5. Row 6 on the inside is Alex Gay in the 22G car with Ryan Vinson in car 25. He'll start in position number 12. Thomas Fontaine in the 64 race car will fire off deep in the field inside of row 7 in the 13th position with Danny Franklin in car 52 going off in 14th with Chris Goodell at car 9. He'll start last in 15th position. The points race coming in 2 tonight with just 2 races remaining tonight and the season finale for this series on October the 4th. Zach Hardline leads by 10 points over second place is Alex Floroff. Thomas Fontaine is 14 points back in third. Thomas is 4 points behind Alex Floroff in second. Fourth in the championship standings is Ryan Vinson, and Danny Franklin rounds out the top 5. Sixth is Chris Myers. Jennifer Crabtree is 7th in points. Alex Gay and Joe Gray are tied for 8th, and 10th is Chris Goodell. 3 different winners this year. Zach Hardline has the most with 5 victories in 2025. Alex Floroff and Thomas Fontaine both have 2 wins apiece as we get set for the 10th race of the year. Again, Mother Nature still dropping moisture. It is raining here at the track at the moment. We're hopeful that this will be a quick passing shower. We'll be able to dry the racetrack and go back racing and continue our 19th event of the 2025 season. This for the Performance Plus Motor Oil and Virginia Ship Repair Foundation. So the Enduro cars have been put back in the outside pits. They are lined up in position. We're hoping to roll them back out here in moments and go back after it. But right now, it is raining here at the track. And Adam, hopeful this will be pretty quick. We'll talk with Adam here in moments. But again, we are in a weather delay here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. We will take a pause in the action, and we're hopeful to come back here very, very soon. In a weather delay here this evening at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway for the Performance Plus Motor Oil and Virginia Ship Repair Association 2:30 night at the racetrack. Well, Adam, we've been talking about it all afternoon. We said, hey, we were going to be right on the line. And as we look at the radar, as we refresh it and update it here in the tower, I mean, we literally are right on the line. You go a few miles south of here, and it's bone dry, and we're right there on the line with this little bit of a shower situation.
Yeah, definitely would be much better if we were on the Norfolk side of the bridge tunnel, that's for sure. But they say where NASCAR goes, Mother Nature seems to follow, buddy, and that's certainly the case tonight. We are committed to getting all the racing in. Again, just 2 races are completed, so we still have plenty of racing to go, and we want to get every division in as we can because, let's face it, next time we see a lot of these cars on track, it's going to be championship night. So these guys don't have a lot of time left and a lot of opportunities to score points. We want to make sure that every opportunity is available here for the penultimate race of these divisions. We'll go again next Saturday for our other divisions, and then we get back to it after a couple weeks off. October comes around, and it is championship race night. It
indeed is. Speaking of next week, our Premier Series, the Hoosier Driver late models make their return, and get this, it's a flat-out 100-lap contest coming your way next Saturday night. Plus, we bring back the Virginia Sprint Series. So go ahead and mark the calendar. 7 o'clock showtime here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Get all of the details online at langley-speedway.com. All right, 2 races in so far, Adam. Our first race of the evening was our Cycle City Court Bandoleros, and no surprise who picked up the win there.
Well, I think you're seeing similarities in both divisions. You look at the Bandos and Limiteds. Championship points leaders getting it done. Landon Burbidge handling business in the number 3. Then you swap over to the Limiteds, and Aiden Millette, points leader and defending champ, also handling business on that side of things. So no surprise there. Those 2 drivers, the class of the field all season long, and just padding their points leads. Kind of what we've been used to seeing all season long. They are the top dogs in their respective divisions, and imagine they've got a good shot to win not only the championship but also their season-ending race in the middle of October. It's going to be fun to watch those boys go at it and both try to get this year's track title. For Aiden, it would be his 2nd, and for Landon, it would be his 1st. Good story there.
Absolutely. Landon Burbidge now 9 wins in 2025, has a commanding lead. Likely will just need to start the season finale to pick up the championship, but we won't etch the trophy or the name of the trophy yet until we get to the championship night for the Cycle City Court Bandoleros. Nevaeh Edwards having a good year, but again, it's been a banner year for Landon Burbidge. You mentioned it, Aiden Millette picked up his 6th win just a few moments ago, his 2nd straight in car number 9. He has been so successful this year. Came into the race now 13 points, but he gained quite a few points because Jacob Derrick didn't finish quite as high as we thought he would.
Yeah, it wasn't a great race for Team 88. They definitely struggled in qualifying, and we talked about it during Mosquito Joe pole qualifying. You got to start up front to have a shot in these races with how competitive that they are. Jacob started mid-pack, was able to pick up a couple of spots, but did not have the race trim I think that they were expecting. That car was not performing to his liking, and the results showed for it there, finishing outside the top 5. So they definitely are not going to love that, but they've got another opportunity tonight to make up some ground. You never know. Aiden could have some problems in race number 2. We saw it last week, as a matter of fact. Aiden had damage on a restart courtesy of a missed shift, and was able to continue and perform well, but it goes a little bit differently, and he doesn't continue in that race or maybe even finish it. So just anything can happen. It's still not over just yet, but definitely puts the Mark Wirtz Racing team number 88 on the back foot.
They finished 6th, speaking of Jacob Derrick. Now, NASCAR did invert the top 10 finishers for race number 2 coming up later tonight. That means Aiden Millette, who just won earlier, will start outside of row 5 or in the 10th position. That means Danny Harrell, Hot Wheels, he'll start on the pole with Hunter Waltrip to his right elbow in race number 2. Row 2 in that 2nd limited late models feature presented by Yesco will be Sparky West and Doug Warren. Row 3 will be Jacob Derrick, so he'll start 5th, a little bit higher here in this 2nd race with Brian Runstrom Jr., a pair of 88s on row 3. Row 4 will be Nick Sample and Kyle Nestor. Row 5 will be Tucker Jones and, again, Aiden Millette. DJ Valente and Kevin Morgan make up row 6. Sarah Weitzel, Zach Beavers, row 7. And Raleigh Rondeau will will start in the 15th position. Let's talk about that first race. Aiden Millett, of course, doing Aiden Millett things, but what about Tucker Jones from your perspective, Adam? What a race he had. Just his third start. He didn't finish inside the top 5 in either of the first 2 races, and then he's lights out fast here this evening.
Yeah, they've had great speed over at South Boston Speedway, talking about Tucker Jones. They've only run part-time here at Langley, but Tucker, just out of high school, trying to get his feet wet in this limited late model. He is partnered up with Mark Wirtz Racing, so he's got a great teacher with he and Jacob Derrick. Atlee Weiss, another member of that stable, so he's got a lot of great people around him to help get him up to speed. And tonight, yeah, they should be very proud of that result. They were top 5 all night, ended up second in that race, and quite frankly, they had a yellow. I think they were in a good spot to win it. The car had great speed at the end of that run, so just goes to show the progression that he has gone through. Again, just making a couple of starts this year, running a fraction of what Aiden and Jacob and everybody have run, but outperforming them, or outperforming most of them. They should be very, very proud of that. And again, they got to get them excited for race number 2. And if they can continue to have good runs to end out this season, they got to be thrilled about 2026.
Absolutely. And let's talk about another storyline. Surprise, surprise, for the second night in a row, we're missing a driver that was inside the top 5. Atlee Weiss not here again this evening.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to the Atlee Weiss racing team. They have been racing up at South Boston as well, having some success over there, and they're taking some time off to regroup. They're getting ready for 2026, and they've told me that they will be out at some point to end the season. They will come back out and compete in that number 78 Toyota, but right now just regrouping and refocusing as they try to assess where things are at for 2026. But again, a very stout competitor, and was top 3 in points before missing some time, so they were very, very good up until that point. They got to win this season, and I guarantee you they're looking for even bigger things next season as well.
Good run tonight for Kyle Nestor. Wow, he has really turned things around in the last few races. As a matter of fact, his performance this evening with another third-place finish gives him now 4 races in a row with a finish of 3rd or better, or make that 2nd or better for car number 18. And actually, as a matter of fact, for the last 6 races, he's finished inside the top 4. So Kyle Nestor continuing to run strong. And I think Nick Sample also has to be happy, because really he started the year very strong inside the top 3 and 4. And then since then, it's been anything but good luck for him.
Yeah, they were involved in a wreck earlier this season and had to miss some time. They've had mechanical issues with that number 66. They've had just everything go wrong that you can imagine in that race car. And so for them to come back and finally have some momentum and have some good speed, it's got to feel really good. And you talked about it, Brian. They were running well. They were second with maybe about 4 or 5 laps to go. Ended up still in the top 5, but we're up there in the top 2. Second, I guess you could call it best of the rest compared to the speed that Aiden had. But they were very, very good all night long, and they should be proud of that result. And again, I look for good things in race number 2. This car had good long runs pace. It fell off there kind of towards the end, but for a majority of that race, they were great. They make a little bit of an adjustment, and that could go away quickly.
We'll keep our eyes on how he performs in race number 2 here in just a little bit. All right, let's switch gears now for just a moment and talk about the Cycle City Corp Legends as they get ready to go after it a little bit later on tonight. You mentioned it, just 2 more races remaining for that series as well. And as we look at the Legends, Tommy Jackson Jr., well, he's leaving off, or starting off this evening where he left off last Saturday night.
Yeah, when you talk about the full-time competitors, he's the only driver to win more than once. Charlie Beals is the only repeat winner this season other than Tommy, but he's only been running part-time this season, so they have had a stranglehold on the category. Talking about driver 87, Cody, last year's champ, is second. They've had good speed here as of late. So has his teammate Mason Weekly, the young 13-year-old. I want to give a shout-out to Bryson Nichols as well, last year's Bandolero champ. The rookie is P4 in points. He is very much in the mix week in and week out, and got a win at the summer shootout at Charlotte. So this field is absolutely stacked with former champs, a lot of great young talent as well, and just kind of everything in between. And there's a good field for tonight as well. Almost 20 cars for 25 laps tonight. It is going to be an incredible show once we get going.
It indeed is. 17 will start the main feature coming up in just a little bit. You talk about winning championships and losing championships. Cody Carlton from Camden won last year's title, has gone on to win 1 race this year. He picked up that victory back in early May. But you got to wonder, Adam, he has finished inside the top 2, top 3 on almost every single occasion but 2 times. 1 race in early May, he finished 5th. And the season opening race, he finished way back in 12th spot. You look at the championship standings, had he not had that dismal 12th place finish at the season opening event, he could easily be tied or maybe even leading the championship standings.
Yeah, it's a majority of his deficit, that is for sure. It's double digits in favor of Tommy Jackson, and you take that finish out of the equation, he's very much neck and neck with Tommy, and rightfully so. With all those good finishes that you mentioned, he would still be trailing by a couple of points. A lot of those second place finishes were to Tommy Jackson. That 87, again, 4 wins this season. They have been on fire, and with Cody finishing in the top 3, he would still probably be trailing. That just goes to show how good that 87 has been this season as they continue to set the benchmark and look for that championship. Cody, though, definitely going to be thinking about that come season's end. But hey, again, 2 races left. It's still very reachable for driver 11, and with the way things have been going, I expect there to be some good, fierce battles in these final 2 events.
Speaking of Team 87, they are leading the championship standings. They have the most wins, as you documented, 4 to be exact. But Tommy Jackson Jr., of the 8 races, make that 9 races we've had, he's had 8 finishes inside the top 3. He has just been there all year long. His worst result back in late July was a 6th place. So Tommy Jackson Jr. doing Tommy Jackson Jr. things. 3-time championship driver race winning team trying to go for his 4th here tonight. And let's talk about Fastlane. I mean, he's bookended a 2nd place finish, season opening race as runner-up the most recent race 7 nights ago. He had the lead on a late race restart, but NASCAR called him back.
Yeah, it was a tough break for the 48. He did everything right, but NASCAR was not happy with the stacking up on the restart, so they called it back. And Mason, unfortunately, didn't get as good of a jump on the second go-around, and ultimately had to settle for a top 3 finish, but definitely was in good spot to maybe win the race, get his 2nd career win. He is just 13 years old. He won the season finale last season. He's had really good runs since then. Brian, you documented all the speed that he's had here at Langley and at Dixieland on dirt, by the way. Currently sits P3 in points, just behind the 2 champions, Jackson and Carlton. That is great company to put yourself amongst, and he's certainly driving like those veterans. And hey, he's teammates with Cody Carlton as well, so has a great camp in his corner to help elevate him in his very, very young career.
And speaking of dirt, down at Dixieland, some of the Legends cars have been competing down there. Cody Carlton currently leads the championship standings in Elizabeth City. Let's switch gears now to the modifieds. They'll be coming out a little bit later, 40 times around for that series. It's been Bad Brad Adams in car number 3. He has won the last 2 races. In the last 4, he's finished 2nd or better. 2 runner-up finishes for car 3. He leads the championship standings. He's gunning for his 2nd straight title. But his only issue, Adam, he's only 2 points or 2 places on the track ahead of rookie Spencer Conrad.
Yeah, the teenage sensation. How about driver 77, man? It has been a terrific season for Spencer. Never done any sort of oval racing before this season. He's a road course racer. Finally was like, you know what? I want to get in a stock car. He and his dad got together with Tommy Spencer in that number 77, which used to be the 47, driven by Riley Music. Riley was down there helping them out earlier today. Saw him down there just trying to lend some advice to the young man, and I tell you what, he has been terrific. 3 wins. That ties him with Brad, and he's been the points leader at times this season, talking about Spencer. So just a couple of positions lost, and that's all it's going to take for someone like Brad, who's so consistent and runs up front every single week, to have that slight little edge over the 77. It is so close at the top, and man, those two have put on a show this season.
Right now, it's going to be Brad Adams and Spencer Conrad making up row 1, but they know they're fighting each other for a title. Whoever finishes ahead of who will gain more traction as we have just one more race remaining after tonight. Let's move now to the U cars. That series getting set to go after a little bit later on this evening. Thomas Fontaine in car number 64. He's got a good shot at it right now. He leads the points by, get this, Adam, just 4 points over the driver that's going to start on the pole position here tonight. That's Jason Auckland, who sets P2 in points.
Yeah, and you take a look at that starting grid right there. You cut it in half because Fontaine's going to line up 3rd, so that's a 2-point swing right there. So take the 4 and put it down to 2 right now as it stands. Fontaine still has that edge. Again, he's the only repeat winner this season. That's why he leads the points. That 64 has been so good. There was a point in time this summer where nobody could beat him. I think he won maybe 4 of those in a row and was just on fire. Auckland got the win earlier on this season. He's been really, really consistent. That puts him right there at the top. And, man, those two combined for 6 wins out of the 9 races up to this point, or 8 races up until this point. They have certainly been the class of the field. Mikey Chen, Zach Herdline there as well. But it has been so fun to watch this series. A 4-cylinder fiesta, as I like to call it, between the smaller cars here at Langley Speedway, but they're not afraid to get after it and mix it up. And imagine they're going to do so tonight, man. It's been fun to watch here as of late.
Thomas Fontaine in Team 64 will start inside of row 2 or position 3. He leads the points, as you've heard, just by 4 points ahead of second place is Jason Auckland, who rolls off from the pole position. Thomas Fontaine has been the most consistent driver this year. 7 straight races of a podium finish or third place or better for Thomas Fontaine. He finished third the last time out 2 Saturday nights ago. And let's switch gears, not necessarily for points, because it's really only going to come down to 2 drivers for the championship. That's Thomas Fontaine or Jason Auckland. But the driver that was just happy to get a win 1 race ago, Jeremy Jones, picked up his first career victory.
Yeah, what a story for driver 66. They have had great speed pretty much every time they've hit the track this season, but that car has had one issue after another. It's kind of hurt their performance. That's why they find themselves 7th in the standings. When they have had everything go right, they've had great top 5 speed. Talked to Jeremy last time these guys raced, and he said, man, we're ready to go. We feel like tonight is our night. He called his shot after putting it on the pole. Had a little bit of trouble mid-race, lost the lead, but on a late race restart, got up on the wheel and went back after it, ended up in victory lane, and yeah, he was just absolutely ecstatic to finally get that monkey off his back and just be able to get to victory lane after they worked so hard. And imagine he's ready to go after it tonight. He's tasted victory once, and imagine he wants to get back there again tonight. Don't take your eye off the 66.
Like the modifieds, the U cars, it's going to come down to the last lap of the last race to see who will become champion. Let's move now to the Pro 6 Series. Matt Dale, Team 07, they have been on fire in 2025. They're trying to get it done here this year. They went off and won the pole earlier today. Matt Dale did over Chris Bechtel. So what's your thoughts on that series?
Well, I tell you what, you look at it on paper, and it looks like Matt Dale has absolutely dominated. 4 wins to Chris Bechtel's 0. But if I look at the points total, it's only 5 markers between he and Chris Bechtel. So it is still, again, going to come down to that championship night. It is very, very close at the top. Bechtel, winless on the year. He's been consistent. He's won a lot of truck races, still looking for that first Pro 6 win. Imagine it's coming this season. If not this season, then certainly next season. That 67 has been there every week. Want to give a shout-out as well to Mr. Andrew Roten. Andrew was a thorn in Matt Dale's side the first half of the season. He and his wife welcomed a new baby girl, Blair Elizabeth, about a month ago, so they're enjoying some time off, and we're going to see Andrew back here next season in some form or fashion, so can't wait to have him back. And yeah, you're right, Matt Dale, Chris Bechtel, is going to go down to the wire, as it will tonight for another race win. Can Bechtel get his first, or will Matt Dale make it 5?
We're going to find out for sure. And let's now move to the Enduros. They were just getting ready to come out on the racetrack before they actually were on the track, getting ready to take the caution for their opening laps. But nevertheless, the rain did come down. But Zach Hardline, you don't see this very often, but I'll tell you what, he's had a lot of good luck when it comes to pill draws this year.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, pole position, it doesn't get any better than that. Herdline is going to have the catbird seat here to get going, and I imagine that has caught the attention of the entire field right behind him here this evening when they saw him draw that pill. I bet you there were a few groans being let out when they saw that happen. So good luck and good speed out of the 32. That finds him at the top, 10 points over defending champ Alex Floroff, most recent winner, by the way. 17 has some momentum coming into this evening. And there's that name again, Thomas Fontaine, the multi-time U-Car winner, well, also a multi-time Enduro winner. He's no slouch here either. The top 3 have been absolutely stout here this season.
Thomas Fontaine on the opposite end of the spectrum. We talked about Zach Hardline, one of the fastest cars here in this series. He has 5 wins this year in the opening 9 races. That's right, that's more than half of the races. He starts on the pole position for Zach Hardline. But Thomas Fontaine, who does have 2 victories, he's going to start 13th, way back in the field.
Yeah, he's going to have his work cut out for him, but we've seen that 64 car let the back end hang out and just get after it, man. He is one of the most fun drivers to watch on a race start or a restart. Does not matter where, Enduros, U-Cars, you watch that 64 car go, and he will absolutely send it around here. We're going to need probably a camera just on him as he works his way up through this field, but man, he has absolutely given it everything. He is just 4 markers off of second place, so he definitely knows there's more to play for tonight, and he's going to be giving it everything he's got.
That's right. We're talking about Thomas Fontaine. Last week also drew a not a good position, but it didn't take him but 1 or 2 laps, and he was right near the front. So keep your eyes on Team 64. And Alex Floroff, who, as we just mentioned, 10 points back in second. He also has 2 victories. And tonight, as we look at the starting grid, Alex Floroff will start middle of the pack in position number 7, or inside of row 4. So the championship chase, it's coming down to 3 drivers to see who gets it done. Again, we're under a weather delay. Adam, our fingers, our toes are crossed that it's not going to be too much longer, and we're going to be able to go back after it.
Yeah, our safety crew has been getting after it ever since the rain started. The track should be dry here once the rain does stop in a matter of moments, because these guys have already gotten a head start. It looks like the rain has lightened up for the most part as I look out to our Musco lights. I don't see it as heavy as I did earlier on, so that is good news for us and good news for all the competitors, because they want to get out here and they want to race, man. They came here. They've been here since probably 11 a.m. this morning when the pits opened, and they have been prepping their race cars, putting in the work and the hours to come out here and race and grab a checkered flag. So we want to watch them do it, and I know they want to get after it. So it should be just a matter of moments, and we'll be getting back after it again. Big thank you to all the race fans that have stuck it out here in attendance. You guys are the reason we're able to do this, so thank you for being here. We appreciate everybody's patience. Go down to the refreshment stand, get you something hot to eat and cold to drink, and enjoy this few moments we have of calm, because it's going to be calamity when we get going, my friend.
It is going to be calamity, and we've got the late models coming back out. They're going to be here next weekend, those thunderous late models, and one of our late model competitors, Butterbean, as he's known, Brendan Queen, was able to get the victory here Friday night, last night, in Illinois at the Southern Illinois 100. What a year he's had. And Adam, breaking news this week, Butterbean, Brendan Queen, are again 3-time late model stock car champion and winner of our premier race here, the Hampton Heat 200, will make his NASCAR Xfinity Series debut at Bristol Motor Speedway.
How about that? For Colleague Racing in the number 11 Chevy Camaro, Butterbean going to go to the high banks, the world's fastest half mile, and put on a show. It is going to be fun to watch that, and big congratulations to him, man. He deserves it. He has worked his tail off. 6 wins in the ARCA season, going back to last weekend at the dirt track in Illinois. It was absolutely fun to watch that. He's done it on the super speedways at Daytona, Michigan, on the dirt tracks, and even here at Langley. He has done such a great job in the past year. So had him on the show with us last Tuesday. He was pumped up for the end of this season, trying to chase that ARCA championship, and obviously knew of the news that he was going to be at Bristol next weekend, and it was just released to the public here as of late. So we're very proud of him and can't wait to cheer him on, man. Might have to get me some 11 gear before then.
There you go, Butterbean, putting Langley Speedway in the national news. All right, race fans, again, we are in a weather delay, hopefully not too much longer, and we're going to go back racing here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Continuing to be in a weather delay here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway, our 19th event of the 2025 season. It's the Performance Plus Motor Oil and Virginia Ship Repair Foundation 230. Just one race remains after tonight for every series that competes here this evening. I say just one race remains, Adam, but we know the limited late models presented by Yesco, they still have a couple of races to go, but one of them's not for points.
Yeah, they're going to race on the October 26th weekend, the Halloween Speed Fest. Plenty of bragging rights and prize money on the line, but that's after the point season concludes, so it's the very much the definition of boys and girls have at it at that point. Lay it all on the line, go out and collect a trophy, and you're going to be the most recent division winner all the way through the off weeks and into the winter break leading up to next season. So a little bit of a pep in your step there to carry into next season as well.
So we are in track drying mode. There is some still light moisture falling from the skies, but not enough for NASCAR not to begin track drying efforts. So we're trying to keep some heat in the racetrack. So we've got a couple of wreckers out there pulling a tire. We also have one of our safety trucks, our ambulance out there rolling around the speedway just to try to get us back in action a little bit sooner. And when we do go back racing, we'll put our third series of 8 here this evening, or at least 8 races, 7 series competing. Our Yesco Limited late models will run twice tonight. They've already won one race, or run one race, in which Aiden Millette picked up the victory. They'll come back out for race number 2. We talked about the 10-car inversion for that one. But the next race to come out, with Zach Herdline being the point standings leader, will be the Portsmouth Army Navy Enduros. And let's pay it back the right way. That series does run on street tires that does have treads, not like the U cars, very similar, that do run on Hoosier slicks.
Yeah, I want to make that correction from earlier. We were discussing the ins and outs of this division. These guys and gals run on their street tire compared to their U-car counterparts, very similar machines. They run on the Hoosier slicks, so definitely something we want to correct. That's the Farley Financial U-cars, which we'll see later tonight as well, so we'll get to talk about that more later on. But yes, if there was ever a team or a division to run after a rain delay, you want to run the drivers with treads. That kind of works out perfectly for us, just in case there is a tiny bit of moisture left. That's again, the Portsmouth Army Navy Enduro class. They're going to be on deck next for race 3 out of 8.
But I think the point we were trying to make is that it still was not safe to put those cars at full speed with the track conditions the way they are and were with this rain delay.
Yeah, that's why our team's working hard to make sure the track is dry, because we will treat it like any other division is out there. Want to make sure the track is perfect and in tip-top shape before competition, because these guys and girls like to have at it. They're going to be 2, 3, and 4 wide. Want to give them a safe and comfortable racing facility in order to do so.
Tonight's race is being sponsored in part by Virginia Ship Repair. We want to thank all the team at the Virginia Ship Repair Association for helping make it happen here this evening. And, of course, got a lot of great job opportunities. The Virginia Ship Repair Association Marine Trade Training Program is your express lane to success. No prior experience is required. Just 3 weeks of hands-on training can launch you into a rewarding career as a welder, pipe fitter, electrician, or any of our several other in-demand specialties. Visit shiprepairtraining.com today. That's shiprepairtraining.com, and discover your path to a brighter future. It's free to apply. Also tonight's action, Adam, sponsored by Performance Plus Motor Oil. Guess who gives his stamp of approval to them?
Hey, I've seen that guy before. The guy with the cowboy hat and the sunglasses. He's won a NASCAR race or 2 in his day, huh?
Yep. How about 200 of them and 7 championships? The king, as he's known, for the NASCAR Cup Series and the NASCAR World, Richard Petty. He gives his stamp of approval for Performance Plus Motor Oil. So big thanks to Joe McGuire. And he's got a bunch of folks here tonight. They're having a great time. Barbecue, I think I heard. They're eating well. They're having a good time.
Absolutely loving life over down there in turn number 4. And again, a big thank you to them, Performance Plus and Safety Clean, a very proud partner of Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Also going to give a shout out to Virginia Ship Repair Association, the foundation over there at the shipyard. They had a race earlier this season that unfortunately we weren't able to race, so good to have them back out here with us and enjoying the night. And Mother Nature just might not be a shipyard fan. I don't know if starting to see a trend here. But either way, we are going to go racing, and it's all because of our friends at Performance Plus and the Virginia Ship Repair Association.
All right, hopefully not too much longer, and we're going to put back out on the Speedway the Portsmouth Army Navy Enduros. Again, if you're just joining us, we are in a weather delay in Hampton, Virginia at Langley Speedway. Hopeful that we'll be going back racing soon. About time to go back racing here this evening, getting ready to bring out our Enduro Series presented by the Portsmouth Army Navy. Did have a slight weather delay, but thankfully the precipitation has stopped falling. Hopefully, fingers crossed, for a while so we can get the rest of our racing action in. We've only got 2 races in thus far. We have 5 more to go. Make that 6 more if I can do my math up here in the tower, including this Portsmouth Army Navy Enduros getting ready to come out onto the Speedway. So thank you so much for all your patience here in the stands, as well as those tuning in on Flow Racing and YouTube. There is a technical glitch with Flow Racing, so they are streaming the races on YouTube as we speak. All right, so drivers are in their cars, getting in position. Adam Welbrock will be down on pit road here in moments as we'll carry you through this 30-lap race. Just 2 left here in the 2025 season to settle it. And again, the drivers did not want to know the fact that Zach Herdline drew the number 1 spot. He'll lead the field to the green flag with Jennifer Crabtree to his right elbow. Some other heavy hitters in the point standings. Alex Floroff, as we documented, will start in the middle of the pack in position number 7 or inside of row 4. And Thomas Fontaine, like he did 1 week ago, has a tall order. He has to start inside of row number 7 or back in the 13th spot. And race fans, are you ready to go back after it? All right, I think we are. We are too. Let's go racing. Cars coming out on the racetrack for this Portsmouth Army Navy Enduros. So good to hear these cars coming off of pit road, hearing the engines as they have come back to life, and we are set. Let's talk about the starting lineup presented by Performance Plus Motor Oil and Virginia Ship Repair Foundation. Zach Herdline and Jennifer Crabtree on row number 1. Row 2 will be the 3 car of Don Dawson with the 92 of Jared Curson starting outside of the second row in position number 4. Again, the 92 car making his first start from Gates, North Carolina. Row 3 is where we find the 54 of Haley Nelson and the 51 of Dave Williams. Row 4 is going to be the 17 of Alex Floroff and Chris Myers in car number 24. Row 5 is the 21 entry of Joe Gray with Daniel Baldoff in the number 19 starting 10th. Row 6 is Alex Gay, the rookie competitor in the 22G with Ryan Vinson in car 25 firing off in 12th spot. Row 7 is where we find the Mosquito Joe number 64 of Thomas Fontaine and the 52 entry of Danny Franklin. Starting shotgun tonight, it's car number 9, Chris Goodell, the rookie racer. Here come the cars. There'll be a few more laps before we are able to go back green flag racing. And remember, in this race, the only time we see the caution is now at the start of this race. Once we get the green flag, the next flag that will come out will either be the red flag to stop the race because of an incident on the track or Mother Nature, or we'll see the white flag indicating 1 more lap to go before we get the checkered flag. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. A fast car starting up front, some other fast cars starting in the middle of the pack, and we've got a fast one in Thomas Fontaine starting at the rear or near the rear. 2 more laps, and we are going racing here in Hampton, Virginia. We are excited to go back after it here this evening. Don't forget, the action continues next Saturday night, September the 13th, with the Virginia Sprint Series, and we bring back the Who's Your Driver late models with a 100-lap race. Check out the entire schedule online at langley-speedway.com. Be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, including Facebook, X, Instagram, and more for all things Langley Speedway. 1 more lap when they come by the start-finish line until we get the green flag and go racing here this evening. 1 more lap. We will go racing. Lights have gone off. The Toyota safety truck, the Portsmouth Army Navy Enduros, will be green flag next time around. It's Zach Herdline, Jennifer Crabtree again on row number 1. Jennifer Crabtree right now is 7th in the championship standings. Her best finish this year is an 8th, and she's gotten that on 2 occasions, including in the most recent race 1 week ago. And what about Joe Gray? Joe Gray is tied for 8th in the points. He had his best finish ever when he came home in 5th last week. Pace truck makes the hard left. It's Zach Herdline, Jennifer Crabtree on row number 1, and we have the green flag has been unfurled. We are Portsmouth Army Navy Enduros racing. 3 make it 4 wide at the end of the front stretch. They thought about going 5 wide as they go through turns 1 and 2. On the brake is car 32. That is Zach Herdline. Meanwhile, look who's running up in second. That is Don Dawson, who started the race in third. He's getting the assist now from the 17 of Alex Floroff, who has wound his car up to third. The middle or outside lane of Jennifer Crabtree was not able to get going. That stacked up the entire field at the initial start. Herdline is checked out to a good 9 car length advantage as he rolls back to turns 3 and 4. The battle's on for second. The 17 of Floroff wanted it. The 24 of Chris Myers is there. He'll take the third spot, puts the nose right in front of Alex Floroff. Now he goes to the inside of car number 3, Don Dawson. The Jeff Gordon throwback paint scheme of Chris Myers, who had to be parked last week because of aggressive driving, has got his car all the way up to second. That is one fast race car driver. Here he comes out of turn number 4. We watch as 3 laps go on the scoreboard. Can Chris Myers begin to reel in Zach Herdline? Both Zach Herdline and Chris Myers, some of the fastest cars on the racetrack, they both turned a 20.3 second lap the most recent trip around. If you're wondering, where is Thomas Fontaine? We documented how he started back in 13th position. Fontaine has now worked himself inside the top 5 P5 as they race back to turns 1 and 2. He is on the back bumper of Don Dawson as they work off of turn number 4 and down the backstretch. Car 64, Thomas Fontaine, trying to march his way to the front, sticks the nose to the inside of car 3 through turns 3 and 4. Move Thomas Fontaine up to position number 4. Don Dawson drop kicked back to 5th spot. Back up front, the battle's going to be on for the second position. Here comes Alex Floroff, tries to do a dive bomb job there in turn number 3 to the inside of Chris Myers. Couldn't quite make it stick. Now he will try once more. He'll reload in turns 1 and 2. Battles on for the second position as we have the Thomas Fontaine car watching on. There's your race leader, Zach Herdline, car 32. He started on the pole. He'll put 7 on the scoreboard now as he flashes by the start-finish line. As we watch, that car continues to run strong here this evening. The advantage he has over Chris Myers, nearly 2 seconds as they work off of turn number 2, as Herdline is catching the back half of this field quickly in this 30-lap contest. He has to be careful to negotiate the lap traffic so he doesn't have problems. There he is. Herdline is getting ready to close into the 52 of Danny Franklin. Danny being scored in the 13th position. One thing we did notice a little bit ago outside of your frame was third place is Alex Floroff. There was a big puff of smoke as we watch. There we go. There's the battle for second. And is this smoke coming from the 24 or the 17? We'll have to keep our eyes on that. Those 2 cars are very close together as they'll go by the Franklin car. It may be coming from the 24 Chris Myers. Here comes Floroff. Looks down to the inside in turn number 3. Floroff will follow behind the 24 Chris Myers as they work through turn number 4. And it does look like it's coming from the 17 race car. Not sure if it's a tire rub or if he's having some other issue, but nevertheless, the 17 is fast of Alex Floroff, who is currently second in points with 2 victories here in 2025. And again, most recently, Alex Floroff won 1 week ago. One more time off of turn number 4 here to put now 11 on the board. 1/3 of the race in the books. As here comes the 17. Will they make contact coming through turns 1 and 2? Not at the moment. The 24 hangs on to that second spot. As we watch them go back to turns 3 and 4, they'll get by the 19 of Daniel Baldoff as he is 1 lap behind the race leader, Zach Herdline. 12 laps down. 3 laps until we'll see the cross flags come out. It's Zach Herdline continuing to lead. This is a battle for second spot. Here comes Floroff. He has tried lap after lap for multiple attempts to get by the Jeff Gordon throwback paint scheme of car number 24. Now he's going to get a run here at the end of the front stretch. He has his best attempt that he has set up now in turns 1 and 2. They're door handle, they make contact. They bounce off of one another in the middle of turns 1 and 2. But nevertheless, Alex Floroff will get by the 24, who gives him a bump. He was not happy with that pass going through turns 1 and 2. but nevertheless, Alex Floroff has it here as they go back to turns 1 and 2. More contact is made. Myers is there. Aggressive Saturday night short track racing. We love to watch these drivers and teams go after it. They work back to turns 3 and 4. More contact. The 24, the 17 get together. The 17 gets sideways as they get the cross flags indicating we are halfway home. 15 down, 15 more to go. It's Zach Herdline. He's the race leader. Alex Floroff has been able to scoot by the 24, Chris Myers. They actually bounced off of one another a few laps ago in turns 1 and 2. The last couple of laps, the 24 Myers has given the bump to the 17, but he has not been able to do the crossover move to get back by car number 17, Alex Floroff. Ryan Vincent rides along in 4th spot, and Thomas Fontaine holds on to that top 5 spot, position number 5. We documented how he worked himself inside the top 5, but he's not moved anywhere further closer to the front of the field. He'll hold on to that spot. There is car number 32 down the backstretch. He'll send it back to turns 3 and 4. He's out on a Saturday night cruise here at the moment. We're talking about Zach Herdline from Virginia Beach in the Shannon's Custom Creations Cal's Pizza sponsored car. Looking a little bit further back is where we'll see the 3 of Don Dawson. Don Dawson right now is being scored in 7th spot. He is just behind the 54 of Haley Nelson and just ahead of the 21 of Joe Gray. And there's contact between Gray and the 3. More contact in the middle of 1 and 2. This is racing as hard as it gets for position number 7. We documented Joe Gray, the rookie competitor, with his best finish ever, a 5th, 7 short days ago. He's got 2 cars in his way if he wants to replicate that effort from last Saturday night. Watching the 64 of Thomas Fontaine, he again has not been able to make up any more distance or any more ground as we're now 2/3 of the way done. The 64 car sideways. I don't think he and the 19 of Daniel Baldoff got together. Baldoff very slow coming off of turn number 4. He is way off the pace as he will continue on. But nevertheless, the 64 was sideways coming through turns 3 and 4, and we documented it over the last several weeks. These drivers are on razor's edge. They almost have to do that if they want to maintain pace and maintain speed. Watching the 54 race car of Haley Nelson try to go to work on Thomas Fontaine. That's the battle for 5th spot. Car 54 running strong here this evening. That driver, Haley Nelson, that is from Portsmouth and the Bryant Motorsports Parts Barn race car. They are just ahead of car number 3, Don Dawson, who again rides along in position number 7. 8 laps to go as the 64 Mosquito Joe car sideways. Corner entry. Once more, the 21 peppering the back bumper of Don Dawson lap after lap. This is good racing. They're fighting as hard as they can to finish as high as they possibly can. If you can't finish first, you want to get every spot higher if you're a little bit further back. And of course, these drivers are doing just that. 2 private battles happening here down the backstretch. Now here comes Haley Nelson. Puts the nose of the car on the inside of the 64 of Thomas Fontaine. They make contact coming off of turn number 4. Nelson is there. They got the 52 of Danny Franklin. The lap car washes up the track to give them plenty of racing room as we only have 6 more laps of action to go. It is not an easy ride for Thomas Fontaine. He is doing everything he can to keep the black and yellow 54 car behind him because he knows the 54 of Haley Nelson is indeed a little bit faster, but he's trying to run his line to keep that car at bay. But will he? They're going to go side by side coming off of turns 1 and 2. Trading paint on a Saturday evening. Nelson has the slight advantage. The nose of the car a little bit further ahead of the green machine coming through turn number 4. Again, 4 more times around this racetrack. This is the battle for 5th. Haley Nelson has got it. Thomas Fontaine drop kick back to 6th, and that's where he rides as they are 3 wide just behind that battle. Fontaine says not so fast. He'll make the run. He'll try to reload coming through turns 3 and 4. Those cars are so close you can't put a piece of paper between the 2. That's how hard they are fighting here this evening. And if you're wondering, where is the race leader, Zach Herdline? He is way out ahead of this battle. Herdline, as a matter of fact, is right behind him. There's the blue car. He's going to put them a lap down potentially as we are coming to the white flag. One more trip around. Herdline has got all the way up to the fifth place driver of, make that the sixth place driver of Haley Nelson, as Thomas Fontaine has been able to go back by her. Thomas Fontaine looks in the rearview mirror, sees Herdline coming for the final time, coming through turns 3 and 4, and for the 6th time this year, Zach Herdline will win the Portsmouth Army Navy Enduros at Langley Speedway. It was a caution-free or red flag-free race, that is, for this series, in which Herdline has been able to get it done, get his 6th win of the year, as he'll continue to try to pad that points lead with just one more race remaining until we settle this 2025 campaign. So a big night for Zach Herdline, who drew the pole position. He was able to hold on to it and lead all 30 laps to get the victory here tonight. And it is Zach Herdline holding off Alex Floroff. So Zach Herdline is going to get that checkered flag. He's going to do his celebratory lap, and certainly he'll be one happy driver. And you can see him just waving it back and forth as Herdline has done it. Zach Herdline is your winner. Alex Floroff comes home in second spot. That's how they are in the point standings, 1-2. Chris Myers, he'll bounce back to finish up in third position here this evening after Myers started this race a little bit deeper in the field. Coming home in fourth spot tonight, that's going to be Ryan Vincent, tip of the cap to the 25 car, and Thomas Fontaine rounds out the top 5 as he was able to get back by Haley Nelson to get that top 5 finish. Nelson will finish up in 6th. Don Dawson was 7th. Joe Gray finished up in 8th. 9th tonight was Alex Gay, and Dave Williams rounds out the top 10. Jennifer Crabtree was 11th. Daniel Baldoff came home 12th. 13th was Danny Franklin. Chris Goodell was 14th, and Jared Curson finishes up 15th here this evening. Let's go trackside to Dale Emmons Victory Lane.
Driver 32 parking it for the 6th time this season. A good pill draw and pretty much took care of the rest. He was on rails the entire race, dealing with some lap traffic and navigating this racetrack course without a spotter in this division. It's not easy to do, but Zach made it look easy and is going to pad that points lead, looking for his first track championship here in a matter of weeks. It could very well go his way. The Enduro winner is going to climb out for the 6th time this season. Your race winner, it's Mr. Zach Herdline. Teams down here fired up. A fist bump from Sean Calloway. Cal's Pizza on the number 32 machine. Zach, I don't want to say it, but I think you might have had this race won from the pill draw, man. The racing gods were good to you today.
They were. It was a little nerve-wracking coming out here after the rain, but just took it slow. You know we didn't need to win, but we're just trying to get that championship.
What's that like when you've got to come back on a green racetrack, a little bit of unpredictability to your race car?
Just take it slow, a little bit harder every single time, and get your footing underneath you.
You want to give a shout out to on this bad fast race car?
Of course, Kale's Pizza, the Haven Inn, Nice Guy Auto and Transmission, Shannon's Custom Creations, and all the people that work on this every day.
Congratulations, Zach. That's win number 6 on the season. Brian, thinking big picture, but still going out there and chasing a victory. Checked off both boxes here tonight.
Tonight's trophy presentation is brought to you by Your Incorporated, a proud member of Virginia Ship Repair Association. Founded in 1962, Your Incorporated has grown from a small local operation into a trusted provider of portable restrooms, temporary traffic control, custom signs, and storage solutions. We proudly serve Hampton Roads, Richmond, and Northeast North Carolina, partnering with construction crews, shipyards, municipalities, and event organizers across the region. With over 60 years of service, Your remains committed to safety, reliability, and outstanding customer care. Representing Your Incorporated this evening is our Traffic and Signs Division Manager, Asa Lowe. From Larry King Law's Langley Speedway, you're watching Flow Racing.
Hey, race fans, did you know that someone in America is injured in a drunk driving crash every 2 minutes? Don't be that person. Commit to staying sober behind the wheel and help steer Virginia clear of drunk driving. Make Virginia's roads safer and take the Safe Driving Pledge right now at who'syourdriver.org. That's who'syourdriver.org. And remember, race fans, choose a sober driver. Buckle up and enjoy the race. I'm First Sergeant Peter Lazier, coordinator of the Virginia State Police Help Eliminate Auto Theft Program. Did you know that you can earn a reward of up to $25,000 for providing auto theft tips that lead to an arrest? Go to heatreward.com to learn more.
Flag-to-flag coverage of the Performance Plus Motor Oil and Virginia Ship Repair Foundation 230 here at Langley Speedway. And Adam, wow, that was a fun, exciting Enduro race.
Just as we've come to expect in the Enduros, they lay it all on the line and put on a show. Those guys and girls are fearless. It takes a special breed of driver to compete in that category, that is for sure. And even Zach Herdline, who started up front, he did not have an easy race. It was chaotic from the word go. But that's why we love that class. It's so much fun. And now we're going to shift gears to something a little bit different. The Legends are here. The Cycle City Corp Legends division is ready to put on a show.
This is the 10th race for this series, and it makes their second straight week in a row. This is a fun series where some of the superstars of the NASCAR National Touring Series got their start at tracks like Charlotte Motor Speedway or Atlanta Motor Speedway on the quarter-mile raceways. NASCAR Cup Series champ Joey Logano got his start in these type of cars, and look where he is today. These vehicles are designed to promote exciting racing and to keep the cost of the sport in line. The cars are 5/8 scale replicas of the American automobiles from the 1930s and 40s. So let's take a look at the starting lineup and talk about some of the storylines. Tommy Jackson Jr. rolls off on the pole position in car 87. To his right side, Jamie Price in car number 72. This is going to be Jamie's second start of 2025. And Adam, I'd say in start one week ago, he didn't do quite bad at all. He finished 5th.
Yeah, it was a good run. Jamie and team did a great job here making their first start this season, so they had so much fun. They're back here doing it again, and that is the Dylan Spain Motorsports number 72. Dylan actually won in that car on the Cars Tour night, I believe. So that car has had success, and it's having success again with Jamie Price. Jamie, the best of the bunch when you consider the field against Tommy Jackson. So let's see what the 72 car has in store for us tonight. Could get up there and challenge the 3-time champ.
Row 2 is defending champ Cody Carlton, who currently sets P2 in the points behind Tommy Jackson Jr., the point standings leader. Cody Carlton is 14 points back in second position. He starts tonight's race in 3rd. To his right elbow is the 22 of Brian May. Brian May is having a strong run here in 2025. He's currently 5th in the championship standings. Row 3 is Ryan Micah in car number 16, and what a storyline that was. Ryan Micah, he had his 16th birthday, or make that his 18th birthday. That took place 1 week ago. His parents, John and Michelle, worked hard to get him back to the racetrack. That's because, Adam, he had a workplace injury in May and had to go a major operation.
Yeah, talking about the 18-year-old Ryan Micah, a tough start to the season for him with that operation. Had to miss a number of weeks and now has to come back and sort of relearn everything after having months off. That's a brand new race car for them, and they hit the ground running last week, a top 5 performance for them, and they look to do it again here tonight. Keep your eye on the white number 16.
On the 3rd row with Ryan Micah is Jackson Fuchs making his first start in car 77F. Row 4 is the 33 of Colby Flowers alongside last year's champ of the Cycle City Corp Bandoleros, car 80, Bryson Nichols. Row 5 is a refined fast lane Mason Weekly, who tied his best finish of the season, a 2nd last Saturday night. He's going to start 9th here this evening in the 48 entry with Devin Courtney in car number 17, firing off in position number 10. Row 6 is going to be Whitestone, Virginia's Colin Maxim in car number 6, alongside the 9S of Alex Slayton. Row number 7 is the 54 of Andrew Sheffield, alongside car number 9, Chris Fahid. Row 8 will be J.P. Peisel, the 96 entry, with Ryan Cooper starting 16th in car number 95. And shotgun tonight is car 3, Brett Hicks. 17 drivers, 17 teams ready to do battle tonight. And Adam, that's a full field of drivers. And one car actually stopped here on the racetrack.
Yeah, that's the 9X. I believe that's stuck here at the apron of turn number 2. He just parked it there and has been sitting for a little bit. And I'm not sure what the issue is, but the safety crew is tending to him. The wrecker is there ready to take him away. But yeah, it looked like he just stopped on his own. Maybe no power under the hood. Either way, continuing to communicate with our safety officials, and they're trying to sort things out down here in turn 2. So may not be that car not able to compete, but still 16 others ready to go.
And Adam, unfortunately, we had rain earlier. The rain stopped. We were able to drive the track, run a race in the Enduros, and now it looks like it's raining once more.
9, just as we were talking about Slayton Park there and adding some extra time to the pace laps, well, Mother Nature has found this time to take advantage of and take our racetrack back over. It is coming pretty good right now. but not too significant. It is just a little bit heavier than it was a few minutes ago, but hopefully it gets out of here quickly. Probably will end up bringing the cars down pit lane here just to take a quick precautionary measure, but that's not exactly what we needed to have happen here, my friend.
No, it's not, and unfortunately NASCAR has decided because of the rain to bring the cars down pit lane, so this will be another momentarily pause here of the action. A momentary pause, that is, as Mother Nature is back. We do have some more precipitation falling from the skies. Track conditions will not warrant us to go green flag racing. Hey, Advanced Technology Institute, ATI. Go to auto.edu to learn about becoming an automotive, heavy vehicle, HVAC, or welding technician. Also, check out our truck CDL training, all of this and more at auto.edu. I want to thank our friends here at Performance Food Service of Virginia. They are a Virginia-based company servicing over 3,000 local food establishments right here in Virginia and Northeast North Carolina since 1875. All right, Adam, what's the latest from down in the pits?
Yeah, it is looking like it's coming down pretty good. The field has to get going, but a quick pause in the action. We've done it before. We can do it again, and hopefully getting set to go back after it here in a matter of moments, but should be just a quick moment here to let things settle, and we're going to go Legends Racing here before long.
Again, got to say a big thanks to our sponsors, the Virginia Ship Repair Association. They would like to thank their partners for helping to sponsor tonight's races. BAE Systems Norfolk Ship Repair, CE Thurston & Sons, East Coast Repair and Fabrication, Your Incorporated, AXS Solutions, Kalana Shipyard Incorporated, General Dynamics NASCO Norfolk, Curtis Wright Electro Mechanical Corp, Industry Preservation, Poseidon Industrial LLC, and Standard Calibrations Incorporated SCI. For more information about these great companies, visit virginiashiprepair.org. That's virginiashiprepair.org. The Virginia Ship Repair Association, proud to represent strength behind the fleet. Again, we are in another weather delay. Hopefully it won't be too much longer, and we'll go back racing. The next series to compete, it's our Cycle City Corp Legends. We were getting so close to going under the green flag, but unfortunately it has started to rain again. So when we do go back racing, we'll put them back on the racetrack, followed by our Larry King Law Modifieds. Then we'll have the Farley Financial U cars, followed by the second Yesco Limited Late Models feature, and then we'll cap off the night with the VA811.com Pro 6s. All that coming up here in just a bit at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. dryer out on the track in a matter of moments, so we are working to dry the racetrack so we can continue our evening of action here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway, the Performance Plus Motor Oil, and the Virginia Ship Repair Foundation. 2:30 night at the races. Thank you so much for sticking it out with us. We're going to work ever so hard to get the track dried and go back after it here in just a bit.
Race fans, at this time, unfortunately, we have made the decision to call off the evening. That is going to do it for Virginia Ship Repair Association and Performance Plus Race Night. Mother Nature wins this evening. We want to thank all of you for coming out and spending your time with us, and those of you watching on Floor Racing. It has been a fantastic evening, although unfortunately sometimes Mother Nature will win, and again tonight she has. So again, thank you for joining us. We will be back in action next Saturday, September the 13th. Come on out and join us then for more racing here in the month of September at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. For myself, Adam Welbrock, Brian White, Taylor Locke, Will Locke, Taylor McQuinn, and Casey Kern, our entire staff here at Langley Speedway. Thanks so much for watching on Floor Racing. We'll see you next Saturday here in Hampton. Good night, everybody.